I like to draw a very brief issue tonight. The conspiracy of Satan, of the kingdom of darkness against the young people, and the critical call that God is bringing us into particularly. Now, when we were living 2 years ago, and God said, take this child, take him away, nurse it for me. That particular child that God spoke about that time was Moses. And we thank God that Moses turned out to be a deliverer. He turned out to be a vessel that God actually used to deliver the children of Israel from the land of bondage wherein they have been for about 430 years. But tonight, I still want you to turn to the book of Exodus, just very briefly. In Exodus and chapter 10, I'll read from verse 7 and up to verse 11. And Pharaoh's servant said to him, how long shall this man be a snare unto us? Let the men go, that they may serve the Lord their God. Knowest thou not yet that Egypt is destroyed? And Moses and Aaron were brought again unto Pharaoh, and he said to them, go, serve the Lord your God. But who are they that shall go? And Moses said, we will go with our young, and with our old, with our sons, and with our daughters, with our flocks, and with our heads will we go. For we must hold a feast unto the Lord. And he said to them, let the Lord be so with you, as I will let you go. And your little ones, look to it, for evil is before you. Not so. Go now, ye that are men, and serve the Lord, for that ye desire. And they were driven out from Pharaoh's presence. Let's stop there. May the Lord bless his word to our hearts tonight. Now, I'm looking at a conspiracy, and where God is needing you to come. When the children of Israel had been in the bondage of Satan under the king of Egypt for several years, do you remember that one of the things that Pharaoh decided, and I want you to remember, was that when he saw that the children of Israel were growing and they were becoming very, very strong, do you remember what he decided to do? I thought he would have said, kill all the senior people. I thought he would have been interested in destroying the elders and leaving the young people. But instead, what was his decision? What was his decision? He got midwives and told the midwives, I want to undercut the children of Israel. Any of their children, anyone that delivers, and if he delivers a boy, do what? Kill him. and cast him into River Nile. As far as he was concerned, if it's a girl, he didn't think that girls would be a threat. Because according to the world system, and I want you to know that, the world system believes that girls have no religion. The world system believes that you can easily finish whatever is the conviction of a girl once he gets married. So he was thinking that yes, we can always absorb the girls. We will marry them over. We will change everything about them. We will change their names. We will change their culture. We will change whatever they had, and they will have been lost. But for their boys, slaughter them. Now I'm looking at, why did he do that? Why didn't he decide to kill all the women? Why didn't he decide to slaughter all the big men? As far as he's concerned, and I want you to listen, old men, they are not a threat to Satan. You are not hearing me again. Old men, what did I say? They are not a threat to Satan. Satan knows that for old men, even if you kill them, you have not achieved much. He knows that. And he also knows that the continuity of his project on earth cannot be carried on by old aged men and women. So he took a decision, very strategic decision, slaughter them. In the midst of this challenge, that God rescued Moses. It was in the midst of this challenge that God looked for someone who will take care of this young man because of a future that God has for him. Now, do you remember that when Herod also heard that a king was born and that they have already seen the star from the far east? Hallelujah. Now, one of the reasons that could make some of us not to recognize the critical place where God is placing us is that we have not seen the stars. We have not seen the stars. We have not seen the invisible thing about a child that is standing, in our midst. Of course, if the people who were old when we were boys and girls, if some of them saw what lies ahead of some of our lives, I think their attitude towards our lives could have been different. Am I correct? Okay. But you see, because the wise men saw the star, and the person they were coming to worship was still a small baby. I know for you, because we read the Bible with hindsight, when we take a passage, because we have already known the end of the story, there's no curiosity in the way we read our Bible anymore. Because we already knew that, Jesus was born, and he was the King of Kings, and he was the Lord of Lords. So we don't see the anticipation, the curiosity. But for those wise men, do you know that for them they saw a star, that a king was born, and they started pursuing it, only to get into the land and discovered that yes, this king that was born actually is in an impossible place. He was in a manger. He was not in a very, very, they could almost doubt the star they saw and say, what? No. But you see, the response of Herod is what I wanted to remind you. What did Herod do? What did he decide to do? He gave a decree that every child from 2 years and below who may have a star to become great, go and do what? Go and destroy him. And I'm telling you, if God did not rescue Moses, the deliverance of Egypt, of the children of Israel from Egypt, would have been bleak. What did God also have to do for Jesus Christ? I'm not hearing you. He had to rescue him. Otherwise, this great plan that has affected the whole world and that has brought salvation to all of us will have become jeopardized. So I found that, yes, even if he is going to shake the whole world, there is a point in his lifetime that needed a divine protection, a divine handling. Otherwise, the future will be bleak. Now, the passage we have read, when Moses now came and confronted the king of Egypt with all the signs, with all the miracles, with everything that God had demonstrated to show his power, when Pharaoh was going to respond, as if when he was going to yield, he brought a proposal. And that proposal was what has attracted my heart, and I thought we can start tonight by looking at this. It's a very, very small but a very critical challenge that belays the ministry of a teacher. And what was that? Pharaoh said, yes, you can go. You can go. You big men, do what? Go. You have escaped. But do what? What did he say they should do? Leave behind your young ones. Go and be serving your God. Go and make sacrifices to your God. Be busy with your God. I will take care of your young ones. Get busy with serving God. Get busy with all your activities. Whatever animals you want to go and offer to your God, carry it. It's all right. You can go. The only thing that I suggest to you, leave your young ones behind. As you have desire, you that are men, serve the Lord. For that's what you wanted, isn't it? Go and serve your Lord. But for your children, leave them behind. Do you know that when Pharaoh made that suggestion, he already knew? And you may not understand this, but he already knew that the productive generation, are you hearing me? That the productive generation are the generation he was asking to retain. The ones that he's releasing, many of them Many of those women, they have gone menopause. Are you understanding? Many of their men, they are finished. And he knew that, let them go. In few years' time, there will be nothing called Israel anymore. Let me handle your young ones. You can go. So when you look at the scramble for the young, you now begin to understand, where is the battle line? Where is the battle line for Nigeria? Where is the battle line for the church? Where is the battle line for our nation? Where is the battle line for this generation? Where is the battle line for the nations of the world? The battle line is not with the elders. The battle line is not with the aged. The battle line is not with the accomplished. That's not where the battle is. The battle line is young. I hope you know. And the last time I went to my village, just a few weeks now, I went home. And I went home in the month of July. And you know, the month of July in my hometown is the month of masquerade. That's when all the fierce masquerades normally come out. And as we were driving into the spot where all masquerade normally gather to demonstrate their powers, everything began to be quiet, and I was wondering what's happening. I remember, this masquerade time. You know what I saw? I saw that masquerades will only come out if there are young people to carry it. I have found that all the destruction that goes on in politics, it's only possible if young people are involved. You are not with me, oh? Do you know that all the cultism can only thrive if there are young, daring people who are energetic, who can run? Do you know that, yes, it's true. It's true that there are some armed robbers who started being armed robbers when they were 16. And they are now 70. But if there were no young people in the team of armed robbers, what's going to happen to armed robbery? I'm not hearing you. It will finish. Not that armed robbers have repented, but there is something that the devil needed to use them that they no longer have. What is that? The strength of the youth. So you see that I am looking at what has befallen some of the countries like United Kingdom and Europe and US. And I'm wondering, how did they suddenly become what they have become? Why is it that in those nations, they just, all kind of atrocities are advertised so freely, gay movement and all of this? And in my mind, I'm just searching. And I discovered that for 50 years, the enemy went for what class? The productive generation, the young people. Curriculum changed. They started teaching evolution. Instead of teaching creation, evolution was taught. It was presented as if it was a scientific thing. But it was the enemy that said, let the elders go. Give me the young people. It was never a threat to start teaching something like that to nursery and primary school. But the devil knows that the young shall grow, and that whatever you write in the heart of the young has the capacity of productivity. Do you know, as you are hearing me, that the devil knows that for some of you, it is too late to write anything on your heart? You are not with me. Even the devil knows that there are many things that he can no longer make attractive to you because you are old. Some of the fashion dresses that, honestly speaking, in your heydays, can some of you remember your heydays when you were young, when you are young girls, how your mini skirt was somewhere here, and you had that, bushy hair that you just and do like that, and you are inside with a dark goggle on your nose. Excuse me, why are you not using it again? You are not talking to me. He said, look, I have no more interest in them, because even if you don't repent to give your life to Jesus, old age will take it away from you. That's the truth. In those days, when your skull was strong, you could wear a very heavy wig and with some very tough headgear, which he said was a load. Even though your neck is paining you, but yes, you have strength to carry it. But now, even though it's not because you have embraced holiness, old age has taken it away from you. So you just look for something soft and you just wear. Say, let's just go quickly. Now, the devil is very aware that he himself has a limited time to do anything. And even when he sees people that are advanced, he looks at them, even though, because he's wicked, he says, even though they are not useful to me again, I will still destroy them. But if you enter the heart of the devil, I'm hearing him say, you can go serve the Lord your God. Leave your young ones with me. You can be very busy with your God. Give me your young ones. Travel anywhere you can go. Give us your young ones. Let them stay here. We know that the age of productivity is the critical age that we could write anything that we want to write. And so tonight, I just thought that I should drop these thoughts in your spirits as you get on your knees with me in prayer. As you ask some very, very critical questions. What is at stake that God Almighty, who himself is saying The children of the youth are his reward. And happy is that man that has his quiver full of them. He will stand against his enemy at the gates. The challenge that is coming to my heart as I'm looking at this is the fact that there is nothing about any nation, there is nothing about any level of civilization. Once the young people, the young ones, the youth, the children have been omitted, it will soon finish. Do you know, in my head, I couldn't believe. It didn't occur to me that there will be people in the legislative houses who will sit down and make a law and saying that this kind of atrocities is normal. Now the question I was asking is, how did they become like that? And God saying to me, you are late. You are late. They were caught when they were young. Now that they are leaders, they could only manifest what has been written. Where? In their hearts. As we sit in this summit, I sense that we are at a very, very critical junction in the purpose of God. Who writes what on the heart of the young people? And I am not just speaking about you, just thinking that, well, I'm just a teacher in my corner. No. I sense that there's a very serious conspiracy in the heavenlies. And God is calling us to arms and says, stand up now and write your own. Write your own. Because whatever you see now that you are excited about, that is not the issue. The issue is who writes what on the heart of the productive generation. Brothers, I'm telling you, whatever was written on your own heart that has made you what you are, as decent as you are, it's all right, but it's no more a threat to Satan. In fact, Satan, I'm seeing say, go and worship your God. Be busy with what you are doing. Leave your young one with me. I engage them with the internet. Some of you don't know that your child, six years of age, 7 years, 8 years, if you want to know anything that is on the global scene, if you want to know the latest in football, whom do you ask? Just ask that your child. He will tell you, will give you names of all those that are winning. And when he is giving you analysis, you will open your mouth like this and you may not be able to close it. You don't understand. Someone else is writing something on the heart of that child. You can be busy doing anything else. So when Pharaoh said to him, you people can go, you that are men, go and serve your God. Leave these ones with us. Just go, but leave your young ones here. And I was wondering, what does he want to do with the young ones? Before they will have returned, he will have finished whatever else is Israel inside of them. And then we'll only be waiting for these ones to do what? To die. Because they have passed the productivity age. They're only waiting to finish.